So I wanted to challenge myself this week. I only wanted to wear and pick out beast mode fragrances. Typically, to be honest with you guys, when I'm choosing my scent of the day, performance isn't really the thing I'm going to be thinking about. Typically, I gravitate towards what I'm in the mood for. If I see a fragrance that kind of catches my eye, I wear it. Or if I kind of have in my head, you know what, I want to wear this fragrance on this day, I kind of go about it that way. Performance usually isn't a deciding factor for me. So over the past week as I've been making this video and putting it together, it's been a bit different for me, only wearing and reaching for beast mode fragrances. Instead of being in the mood for something, I was kind of having to look at the fragrances that I have that are very strong performing and then kind of pick from those. So it's definitely been a little bit different. And of course, you guys know I stopped doing the weekly fragrance rotation every week. Instead, I'm trying to do videos like this. My last one I did where I only wore cheap fragrances for a week, kind of challenged myself there. This time I'm challenging myself by only wearing beast mode fragrances. So hopefully you guys are excited to see what I've been wearing in the past week for this video. Let me know down below what other types of videos like this you want me to see me do on weekly fragrance rotations like this. Hope you're ready to get into this one. Let's get started. So starting off with the first fragrance of the week. This is definitely not a summer fragrance by any means, but honestly, it's a fragrance that I gravitate towards and I kind of crave every now and then, which is something kind of weird, and I wasn't expecting to like this fragrance and actually want to wear it as much as I do. It's from Tom Ford. It's Tuscan Leather. So definitely not really a summer-friendly fragrance, but when you're staying inside, not going out because of the quarantine and stuff like that, you know, you can kind of start reaching for some of these heavier fragrances if you're staying in a temperature-controlled environment. Not to mention here, the weather has been back to crap. It was really nice for a few days, and then we've been getting down into the low 30s and stuff at night again, which is annoying. So, you know, needless to say, the weather on some days has been somewhat appropriate for Tuscan Leather, and I figured I would bust it out for this video because there's no denying the fact that this is a beast mode fragrance. Very strong in projection, very strong in longevity. I mean, if you try to wash this stuff off your skin, you got to try pretty hard. It's not just going to wipe off. You have to scrub with soap and water. You have to scrub with a towel even. So, you know, this stuff really sticks on your skin, even when you're not trying to wash it off. Longevity, 10 plus hours easily. By that point, like I've talked about before, I kind of stopped keeping track of it. That's all I need to care about. If it gets 10 hours or more, you know, I don't need to know the exact amount because that's a ridiculously long time to have a fragrance on your skin. And it's still kind of pushing out at that 10-hour mark too, which is crazy. I mean, this stuff is basically an OG, I would say for the most part. When people think of Tom Ford Private Blend, they're thinking of Tuscan Leather, they're thinking of Oud Wood, they're thinking of Tobacco Vanille. That's probably the main three most popular ones from the Private Blend, but especially Tuscan Leather. I mean, it's been in songs, it's talked about everywhere. I mean, this stuff has made its mark in the community for sure, and it's definitely a beast mode fragrance. It's one that I crave quite often. On day number 2, I went with Mancera Cedrat Boisé. Lovely, lovely fragrance. I've talked about it before. If you want to get into niche fragrances, go with something like this. I mean, seriously, this is actually cheaper than some designer fragrances out there at discounters. I mean, you can get these typically for like, you know, $90 to $100 on discounters. It will be linked down below along with everything else. And honestly, some designer fragrances from like Giorgio Armani, Dior, and stuff like that on discounters can sometimes be around the same, if not a bit more than this fragrance. So the fact that you can get a full-blown niche fragrance with a niche presentation, just the whole niche experience and name and quality for less than some high-end designer fragrances, that's crazy, and that's an incredible deal. And Cedrat Boisé is probably one of the most popular from the house of Mancera. This is really, you know, in my opinion, what kind of put this house on the map. I mean, they've always been doing pretty well, but Cedrat Boisé is still being sold all over the place. It's being talked about all over the place. This one and like Oud Lemon Mint and maybe a couple others are talked about a lot for the summertime. But this one especially, I love the fragrance. It's fruity, it's woody, it's a bit sweet, but with a lot of a fruity freshness like I already mentioned. So it's great for summertime. Really, for me, perfect for summer evenings. If you want a nice summer evening scent, something maybe, you know, a bit nice for dates, romantic nights, or dressed up nights, that sort of thing. definitely go with Cedrat Boisé. You can also wear it during the daytime as well, but in my opinion, summer evenings is where this one shines. Not to mention, the reason why I picked it for this video, completely beast mode scent. You get niche-like performance from this fragrance. 10 plus hours. Again, this stuff is very strong. Projection is also very strong as well. I've never had an issue with performance. 2 sprays is what I'll usually go with, 2, maybe 3. That's more than enough to get through a whole day and then some. So Mancera Cedrat Boisé, most of you probably do have this one by now, but if you do not and you're wanting to get into niche fragrances, this is a great place to start. This is where I started my niche collection with, and honestly, I haven't looked back since. I've collected a lot of other Mancera fragrances, and I would say as a whole, they're a great beginner niche house, and really a great niche house for even if you're a bit more advanced in the hobby as well. Moving up next here, we have a fragrance from Yves Saint Laurent. You're probably scratching your head thinking, what beast mode fragrances are there from Yves Saint Laurent? I mean, honestly, I can only think of one, and it's this one. Yves Saint Laurent Why EDP. This one, yeah, definitely is a beast mode fragrance. This made it in my top 7 strongest performing summer fragrances for a good reason. I mean, this stuff is a true EDP flanker, and I love it. Of course, you know, you're familiar with the original EDT version of YSL. It's a great smelling scent, but performance is just laughable. It's not a good performer. So what did they do? They listened to that, they took feedback from that, and they released the EDP version, which is much, much stronger, a little bit sweeter as well, which is what you would expect from an EDP release. They did it to perfection here. Very strong performance. Again, this is another one, 8-9 hours, sometimes a bit more. It can be stretched out to. Projection, very strong as well, especially when you get some heat on this one. I think it's a great one for summer. If you limit your sprays during the daytime, you'll be good, but I think this one for summer evenings is incredible. If you're someone of a younger guy, you want a summer, party, fun type of fragrance, that sort of thing. You're in high school, college, whatever, you can go for something like this. If you have the budget for it, you want to get a nice high quality Yves Saint Laurent fragrance with beast mode performance, check this one out. This is one that you can't go wrong with when you want good performance in the summer. Fourth fragrance of the week, we have another quintessential fragrance, one that just about everyone should have in their collection, point blank. And even if you aren't forming a collection, if you're just forming, a handful of fragrances to have and rotate throughout the year, this, hands down, should be one of them. I'm sure you know what I was talking about already. Aqua Profumo. I mean, come on, what can I say about this that hasn't been said already? Honestly, not much. I've talked about this one a lot. A lot of other people have talked about this one a lot. And it's not like a bandwagon hype type of thing, or at least it's not for me. It's for, one, a personal enjoyment type of thing. I have a lot of bottles of this scent because I enjoy it and I don't want to run out and I don't want reformulations and all that stuff to mess anything up. So I stocked up on it because I personally love wearing this fragrance. It smells great for me. The opening, bit hit or miss, kind of grassy and not the most pleasant. I'm not afraid to admit that. But the dry down is where this one just hits it home, smooths out, just sweetens up a little bit from the darker notes added on top of this DNA, and it smells amazing. Performance is great as well. Another thing that can be hit or miss, for me personally, 9+ hours, easily. Very strong performance and good projection as well. This one really pushes off my skin quite a bit considering that it is a parfum concentration. True parfum concentration, typically they aren't going to be the brightest off your skin, but this one really pushes out too. So another performance beast, another great one for summer evenings, summer dates, dressed up, Aqua Profumo. Next, we have a fragrance that doesn't have a normal atomizer on it. And you probably know what this one is as well. If you know me, if you know what I've been talking about here and really enjoying lately, it's Sauvage Very Cool Spray. I know it's a Sauvage fragrance, but you gotta hand it to me here. The Very Cool Spray version is awesome. It is truly awesome. It's currently my favorite from the line. I love it more than the EDT, more than the EDP, more than the Parfum. This is great stuff. If you like Sauvage, but the opening is a bit too metallic-y for you, it's a bit too ambroxan heavy, but you do like the sparkling grapefruit bergamot citrus opening from it, check out Very Cool Spray because that's what this one does. This is the best performing Sauvage from the line, easily. The EDT has always been the best performing for me, both in, the balance between longevity and projection. The EDP lasts a long time as well, but doesn't project as much. And of course, the Parfum lasts a good while as well, but projects even less. This one tops them all on performance. Very strong projection, very good longevity, and it's also the cheapest. If I haven't sold you guys yet on Very Cool Spray, I don't know what else I could tell you. When it's in stock for about $50, $55, $60, scoop it up. Incredible deal. This goes a long way. I mean, to show you how I spray it, this is what I literally do. Like, I probably even do less than that. I got a bit carried away for the camera, but literally, like, shh, that's it. That's all you need. My neck is soaked right now, and like, I hardly use any of this stuff. Like, there's so much, and it goes a long way. You can't beat this stuff. Of course, we got another one of my favorite summer beast mode fragrances. You guys probably know what this one is as well. Aqua Atlantique. Do I need to say more about this one? I mean, guys, when I think of beast mode fragrances for summertime, this is what my mind goes to first almost all the time. And of course, I could have put some more winter fragrances in here for the week, but actually the weather started to look up a bit towards the end of the week. I was going outside, doing some stuff outside, so I wanted some summer-oriented fragrances to kind of get in the summery mood. This one does it for me. Made great memories with this fragrance in the summer, and it just performs like an absolute beast. And so I wore it, and I can't help myself. It smells great. Beast mode fragrance, very strong, one of the strongest aquatic, marine, ambrox, and blue fragrances that I own and that I've smelled. Most of you have probably tried this one, but if you haven't, maybe you're put off by the seaweed, the oceanic notes and that sort of thing. I mean, seriously, give this one a try. You won't regret it. And even if you do have Dylan Blue and Sauvage, this one still fits in. It still has its own place, and it's 100% worth it. Last fragrance to end the week. Got a bit cooler again. It was cloudy. The high was probably only about 52, 53. The low was, it was low, like almost in the 30s or something like that. So kind of ended the week on a colder day again. So I had to go for this one. Parfums de Marley, Leighton. I mean, you guys did this to me. I tried to put these fragrances off for a long time. Well, I didn't try to. I just put them off for a long time just because I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't compelled to get them. But eventually, after seeing so many comments, so many people wanted to see them, I got them. And well, now I've been enjoying them a lot, especially Leighton. This is one that even if I don't wear it every day, I pick the bottle up and I smell it every day. I really do like Leighton. I wish I would have gotten a bottle sooner. I wish I would have listened to you guys sooner. Sorry, I do appreciate you sticking with me though, and I'm glad I have this in the collection now. I'm going to be getting some more of them at some point. Just my focus right now is on summer fragrances, so getting stuff like Herod and Habdon and Godolphin and all that stuff, just not really in season, but I will be getting them. But not Percival, Leighton. I do really like Percival though. Been wearing that one a lot as well, just not beast mode. But Leighton, this one I have been wearing, and also it is very strong. Now, it's not as beast mode on my skin as it is on some others. It's probably a batch thing. I've heard some people say newer ones aren't as strong as the older ones, and this is obviously going to be a newer one because I just recently got it. Got it from FragranceNet, so they carry new stock of it. So it's not as strong as some of the older batches, I'm presuming. But still, in projection, it's strong. Not the best longevity on my skin. I mean, it's good longevity, but not beast mode territory. But the projection is. It's very strong, and it will kind of fill up a room, fill up like a car space. And a lot of times you may not know it. I mean, there's been points where I've been wearing it, kind of forget that it's projecting, but it is filling up the area, leaving a big bubble when I don't really realize it. So very strong projection. Definitely I would consider to be beast mode projection. That's Leighton for you. Great stuff. And I know you guys agree as well. That's what I ended my week on with beast mode scents. So guys, that was going to do it for me. That was 7 beast mode fragrances that I wore for a week. This was a different video for me to approach. I don't normally lead with choosing a fragrance by thinking about the performance. So it was a bit different, but it was fun. Make sure you let me know down in the comments what you think of the video, what other themes for the weekly fragrance rotation you want me to do, and I'll be sure to get on that. Maybe I'll do these more often if you guys seem to like it. So thank you so much for watching. All these will be linked down below. If you want to pick any of them up, be sure to check it out there. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night with another one. Take care.